Oh, time for another fire. Bloody puppies have dragged my saw off somewhere. I can't find it. This fire is a sandwich fire. I've used it several times overseas, mind you, in the northern hemisphere, not here in New Zealand. Reason being, it's really hard to find a suitable wood. You've got to find dead standing totara or silver pine. Northern hemisphere woods work much better because they're quite sappy, and you can even use a green sappy pine to do this kind of fire. But New Zealand, pretty challenging because the wood needs to be fairly dry. So either dead standing totara, dead standing silver pine, any kind of wood that's going to be dry inside, which is pretty difficult to find. So not really a suitable New Zealand survival fire, but it's pretty cool, so I'm going to show it to you fellas anyway. Essentially, you just get a dry log, you split it in half, you light a fire on top of the log, get it burning. So you want both bits of wood with embers on them. Once you've done that, you sandwich one piece of wood on top of the other piece of wood, and you use rocks at each end to hold the two logs together so they don't collapse. If that makes sense, because if you just balance them on the ground, they're going to burn through and fall over. So you stack rocks at this end, stack rocks at that end, just to hold the two bits of wood there, and it will burn, depending on what kind of wood it is, 5, 6, 7 hours. Sometimes you might have to scoop the ashes up and put them on 2 other bits of wood, so it's a good idea to have a spare bit of wood there if you're using it in a survival scenario. But what you will end up with is a glowing natural heater. You can even light one on each side and sleep in the middle of them if you've got shelter or if you're under an overhang. It's a really good way to keep the fire going all night and to have a good source of heat. And just got to be careful you don't roll into it and set yourself on fire. I'm going to build that now. I've used some totara here, a dry bit that I got off the beach. It's been standing upright for a while, so she's pretty dry inside. And I'll light a fire on top, and once she's going, I'll set my rocks up at each end, sandwich the fire, and then we'll just have a natural radiator, and that'll burn for a few hours. I'm going to time how long it burns for today actually, because I don't know how long totara burns for. I've done it in the northern hemisphere a few times, but I've never built this kind of fire here in New Zealand actually, because I've never had to, and like I said, it's not really a suitable fire for the New Zealand wilderness. And it's not really a suitable fire for the New Zealand wilderness because it's really hard to find dead standing wood in our forests because it's so wet it rots down pretty quick. Northern hemisphere though, or exotic pine plantations, different story. It's going to be pretty easy to find dead standing. Alright, crack into it. Now if you don't have any logs or rocks, you can actually drive green stakes into the ground. Just be aware that these green stakes may burn through and then your log will roll off the top. And interestingly enough, for this fire, the bottom log always burns out first before the top log. I was busy doing office work and wasn't tending my fire, and it's burnt the underside of the log as well. But that's alright, I'll set it up. You guys will get the gist of the idea of how it works, and I'll put a time lapse on it so you can see how it slowly burns down, and you've got yourself a natural radiator. Bloody battery went flat before the log burned all the way through. It's been a couple of hours, but you guys get the gist of it.